Or I think let me break it here. Let me make it into two parts because the lab session might be very lengthy, right? So our total duration will be around 2 hours. So it will be give you break for some time, right? So let me break it here. I will stop here. And if you have any doubts, I think you already know it that how to reach me. You can join me on the live sessions, right? Just join on the live session, or you can reach me via comment. You can write on the comment whatever you have till now, right? And I will get back to you with the sort out the issue, or you can follow me on the Instagram with my ID, Sir Anush Shukla. Okay, and you can directly send me message on it, or you can also have having some Facebook page, Facebook group, in fact, not page. So you can reach me over there, right? So till now in the third part, if you have any session, you can reach me here. I will just take another session for the lab. So in the lab, actually, what I will do, I will take the real scenario, like area 0 somewhere in the between, and I will try to merge multiple areas here, right? And we will see that how the different type of LSAs are being transferred here to there. I will take one example of the RIP as well. I will try to redistribute those routes on this one. So that is actually going to be a very interesting lab, but it will take time because whenever we do troubleshooting, do the configuration, and we learned a lot of things, so it just takes time. So that's why I just thought to uh, break in the two parts. So this is okay for the theory, and I will I will just do it in the right now, but just to divide it in two parts, I have just take the packet demo and the packet tracer. Okay, so okay, guys, let me go for the packet tracer now. Bye. If you have any issues, then you can also reach me via these channels. Till that, bye bye. See you on the next lab. Okay, packet tracer lab. Bye bye. So here I have taken similar example. I have these four routers here, right? So let me use my pen. I hope it should be working fine. Yep. So I have taken four example routers here. The router 1 is here, router 1, router 2, router 3, and router 4. Okay. So this is our area 1, means this interface. This will be on the area 1, means the G0/0 of router 2 will be on the area 1. Similarly, 0/0/0 of router 1 will be in the area 1. And here this is an area 0 and this is an area 51 I have taken. Okay. So I have taken the four routers, and the IP address I am going to use this 10.10.34.0/24. 34 I have taken because this is the between router 3 and 4. So that's why I have taken 34 here. And for 23, I have taken as 2 and 3 routers. I have taken 23. Similarly, 12 I have taken between the router 1 and router 2. And here I will be taking between router 1 and router 5. I will be taking the 10.10.15.0/24. So here I will be using the IP.5, like if I take this 10.10.15.5, 5 I have taken because this is router 5. Similarly, network it will be 10.10.15. This is router 1, so I will take dot 1. Here the network is 10.10.12.0. So here this side I am going to take the IP 10.10.12, and this is our router 1. So I will take the IP address 1. Here I will be taking as 10.10.12, and this is router 2. So I will be taking as a router 2 here. This will be our 10.10.23.2. This will be this interface. This will be our 10.10.23.3 because this is of the router 3. Similarly, so I think now you might be aware that what will be the IP address of this interface. 34.3 because this is router 3, and this is 10.10.34.4. 4. So that's what IP addresses I'm going to take. I think now it is very familiar because I have just taken with the help of the router numbers these IP addresses, so that you may not get confused with this one, right? So this is the standard format normally I used to take for the IP addresses, but you can, if you want to practice by yourself, you can take any of the IP addresses as per your convenience. But the important part is that for the every this interface, the network should be changed, right? I think this is the basics of, and we have covered earlier. So let's come to our topic where what we were discussing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to configure these IP addresses here. So let me take the router 4 here, and we will slowly keep on checking the things that what we are seeing in the router OSPF. So no here enable config t router, not router OSPF. I have to assign the IP address first here, IP address, and here I'm going to give 10.10.34.4, and the subnet mask will be 255.255.0. There is some problem. I have not gone to the interface here. That interface is G0/0. IP address is 10.10.34.4 255.0 no shut. And there are two things that you can also give the command here to activate the OSPF on this interface, and you can use the command IP OSPF 1 area, in which area you want to put. So here I'm going to take 51, so I can use this command as well to activate OSPF on this interface, but you are not familiar with this command, so I will use the traditional method what we have used in the previous classes. Okay, so that's okay. I have a signed interface here. Let me exit it here, and then router OSPF process I will be using 1 here, and then I will advertise the network. So network, it will be 10.10.34.0, and then I will use the wildcard mask. So here you can use the wildcard mask as well as the subnet mask. So this is wildcard mask I'm using 0.0.0.0.255, or else you can use the 255.255.255.0, and both are accepted here. But it's a very good idea to give it the wildcard mask, because our the Cisco routers that accepts or take it as the uh, wildcard mask. Even if you give like this, and if you see the configuration, you will be seeing the things in the form of this one. It means that it converts that subnet mask to the wildcard mask. So it's not a problem. You can give any of them. And area, I'm going to take it here as area 51. So that's it. Okay, the OSPF configuration is done on the router 4. Now I'm going to configure it on the router 3. So here I'm going to no enable config t, and interface G0/0/ I think it should be 1, I guess. Let me check it here. Yeah, the site is 0/1. IP address, it should be IP address should be 10.10.34.3 and 255.255.255.0 no shut. And then let me configure on this left side as well, Z0/0 as well, and the IP address for this will be 10.10.23.3. Okay, so or let me put it this side if I can. Yeah, I can. So interface Z0/0/0, and the IP address I will be using on this is 10.10.23. This is router 3, so .3, and the subnet mask as usual 255.0 no shut. This is okay. Let me configure the OSPF. So router OSPF 1. Okay, so here now we have to advertise two networks here. Here this side we have given this network only because that was just one network connected on the router. but in this router 3 we are having the two networks, right? The right hand side interface and left hand side interface. So we have to advertise this 10.10.34.0 as well as 10.10.23.0. So let me do that one. And we have to also change the area. This side we will put the area 51 and this side we will put the area 0. So network 10.10.34.0 wildcard mask I'm giving is 255 and then area 51 because that 34 side is the over at area 51, right? So that's okay. And while the same thing on the left hand side 23 I have to get the area 0 and 10.10.23.0. Perfect. I think it accepted the command. Oh no, 23. I think it messed up everything. My command, it should be area 1, or let me give it the no command, otherwise it might create a problem for us. No, it's yeah, this is, and let me put it no here so that it just doesn't take this one. And let me go up here. Here I have to change it to area 1 and this should be 23. So I think yeah, this is okay. So now we have done the interface configuration as well as the OSPF configuration on the router 3. So right now let's just have a look that what is we are seeing in the router. So first thing that we can check the show IP OSPF show IP protocols first, that is that OSPF running it or not. So we see that the OSPF is running with the process ID OSPF1, and in that OSPF we have advertised two networks, that 10.10.34.0 and that should be on the area 51. Let me, yeah, I think let me make it shorter. Oh, it will not be. So yeah, so this side 10.10.34.0, this is an area 51, and another one is 10.10.23.0, and that is the, in fact, that should not be in the area 1, that is an area 0, so we have to correct it. Router OSPF1 config T, router OSPF1. This is a process ID or not the area ID, okay? And now we can use the use command no network 10.10.23.0, or let me put it if I can use directly area 0 or it will accept it or not. Oh, wildcard mask, let me change it like this. If it accepts, let me check. I'm not sure that it will accept, but still I want to try. .255 area 0. It is saying that, okay, it has changed from the area 1 to area 0. That's what I was trying to do. So it has changed now. And let me try to check now. Show IP OSPF. No, show IP protocols. So now we are having the 23.0 that is in the area 0. So this is very important because there should be, or in fact not should be, there must be an area 0 and all other areas must be connected from the area 0. So that's the very important part, that we should always be area 0 in the middle, and all the remaining areas may connect on the center area. So now that is okay. And let me check the show OSPF database. So that's where we actually see the LSA information, show IP OSPF database, right? So now if you just look on it carefully, I just want to explain it very bit at the basic level because we have just configured the two routers and we just see that what information we are seeing here right now. So if you observe carefully that we are having the information of the area 0, right? We are having the area 0, and on the area 0 it is having the routes 10.10.34.0, and if you see that this is a summary LSA, right? Summary net link states, it means that this is a summary LSA, right? And this is an area 0. Another is like router link state, it is receiving this from the 10.10.34 34.3. So whenever we are having the ABR, area border routers, so this is having the two database, one for the internal and another is for the ABR. So that is just table for the summary and another one for the internal routers. So in fact, we can say the router LSA. So that's why we are seeing this two times. I think this is 34.3. Okay, that's fine. So that's why we're seeing it at the two times. So this is for the area 0 and this is for the area 1. So it is, I think area 1 should not be here because we have not configured the area 1. I think this is the taking the old one. Let me check it once again. If it should clear that area 1. We should not be receiving that area 1. Let me check it once again. It is still receiving. So let me clear IP because there is nothing related on the area 1, right? I clear IP OSPF process. Yes, it should not show us an area 1 here. Let me delete it because we don't have area 1 now. It is there, but we have not configured this area 1, right? There is still not OSPF not configured on this area 1. We are just in the we have just enabled OSPF on this area 0 and area 51. So we should not be getting anything on the area 1. Is still getting something from the area 1. I don't know why it is showing. Show IP OSPF protocols, not OSPF, show IP protocols. I think there is no area 1, but still it is showing. Let me clear it on the other side as well. But other side, I think let me check in router 4 if you are having something. Show IP protocols. Show IP protocols. So here also it is not clear. Let me check the database. Show IP OSPF database. So here we are having the area 51 only, right? Because this is just a normal internal routers. This is not an ABR. The router 0 is not here, or it is not a router which is connected to the multiple areas. So it is just having the information about its own area. Area 51. It is having just two things, 10.10.34.4 and 10.10.34.3, which is having this interface as well as this interface. It has no idea about the remaining one, and that's quite logical. It should not be having any information about the remaining because till now we have not configured anything further. If we configure it further, then it will get some updates. So let me check the router 3. If it is still receiving, I don't want to waste time on it, right? Why it is showing, I will just troubleshoot later on. Not a problem. I will ignore this area 1 as of now. So, and it is also showing as an internal, so that is a very big. I think it has, we have just configured the wrong things earlier. We configured it area 1, so that's why it might be taking from that one. It should not show this one. It should show always only area 0 as well as area 51 because this router is connected to the area 51. This side is area 51 and this side is area 0. So this should show us only these two databases only, area 51 and area 0. If we configure any other interface, it might be area 2 or 3 or 5, then we can see more updates on that one. So this is it. That's what I want to tell, that this, whenever we are having the ABR, then we see the multiple tables for the areas connected from here. So if that one has ABR and it is connected from two areas, 51 and area 0, so we are seeing the area 0 as well as and the area 51. And if we check just on the previous one, that's router 4, if you see it here, you might be seeing that we are just having the area 51. We don't have any information on the area 0 on the router 4 because router 4 is just the last router and it is not an ABR, right guys? Okay, that's cool. Let me configure the router 2. No, enable config T route, not router OSPF. First I have to configure the interfaces, right? So yeah, on this one, interface Z 0/0/1, this side IP address, and this side is 23, so that should be 10.23. And the router 2 is 255.255.255.0, no shut. And I'm just going to use that command to save my time. IP OSPF 1 area, this side is area 0. Okay, so you can also use this command. It will automatically enable the OSPF in the this interface. We don't have to go it like a router OSPF and then advertise the network, right? So this is just command. This OSPF1 is the process ID, that which process ID you want to enable it on, and the area 0 means that this interface G0/1, right? Because we are inside this interface should be in the area 0. That's what I'm telling with this command. So this is a very shortcut, and the standard industry environment we are normally using this command, not that network and something. But still, if you find it difficult, you can use that command, not a problem. So just to save the time, I'm using this command, IP OSPF1 area 0. Okay. And still, if you feel difficult using this command, you can use whatever we are using till now, not a problem. But this is an alternate way to configure the OSPF. The same thing I'm going to do for this G0/0 interface, G0/0/0, and IP address I'm going to configure 10.10.12.2 255.255.255.0. It is not O, this is 0, and no shut. And the same thing, IP OSPF 1, and this time I'm going to put this interface G0/0 in the area 1. So I'm putting on the area 1. So now this is enabled. Okay. And the neighborship will not come to the full because we have not configured the on the router 1. But let's check the status right now, that what are we getting right now. So show IP protocols. We are having the information about the 10.10.23.2 as well as the 10.10.34.3. So that's quite obvious, 23 and 12, right? Why we are having 34 on the router 2? Oh, I think I have again done something wrong here. Oh, yes. No, I have not done. Then why it is configured like this? There should be something routing information. Okay, router IDs. That's fine. Not a problem. Let me check the database. Show IP OSPF database. So now if we look the table here, right, then you will see right now we are having the area 0 because it is just one interface. This side is an area 0. That's okay. So we are having the area 0 as well as the area 1. And that should quite logical because this is on router 2 is an ABR. This is connected to the area 1 as well as this is an area 0. And this is our area 1. So in this router 2, we are having the 2 information, that is just database for the area 0 as well as for the area 1. You can also see the information like who has just advertised that routes, right? What type of the routes they are, LSA they are, that is a summary LSA. So if you see that a summary LSA, it means that it has been come from some other area. So like if you observe that this 10.10.34.0, that's what I was discussing, right? So this has received on this router 2, right? But in the form of the summary LSA, because this is the information that should be coming from this router from here, right? Okay, why my pen always stops working? Because this is receiving from here like this one, right? So this is this information about this network that comes here as a summary LSA, or we can say the type 3 LSA, right? Type 3 LSA or the summary LSA. Okay guys, let's move on to the further on the router 1. No, enable config T. So IP address. So what we are doing right now, that we have just configured the OSPF on the different area. So that's why we are seeing the internal LSA, that is type 1 LSA, as well as the type 3 LSA, summary LSA, to advertise the routes from the one area to another routes. Here I'm going to configure the RIP as well on the router 1. So we will try to check the redistribution, that how ASBR works, right? Type 4 and type 5 LSA. So IP address is fine, interface Z0/0/0. Perfect. IP address 10.10.12.1. Oh, I just missed the 255.255.255.0. No shut. And in this interface Z0/0, I'm going to enable the OSPF. Okay, so I'm using the same command IP OSPF 1, and that should be in the, this interface should be in the area 1. Okay, so I'm putting in the area 1, and after some time, because this side OSPF is enabled, so it should give a message that the OSPF has come from loading to full. Yes, we have got it from loading to full, right? And now we have to configure this interface Z0/1. So interface G0/0/1, IP address 10.10. So if you do not understand all these things, not to worry, because whatever teaching I'm teaching you right now, this is something 50% of the CCNP, not the CCNA. So you should not worry too much. In fact, if you even grasp it like 20 to 30%, you should be very happy because nobody understands this in just one go, right? So 10.10.15.1, 255.255.255.0, no shut. And this side I'm going to enable the RIP, not the OSPF. Okay, so for the RIP I will use the traditional method, router RIP version 2, and then I will use advertise that network 10.10.15.0, and here I don't have to give the subnet mask or the wildcard mask, and I will give the command no auto summary. Okay, so that is done at the router 1. Let me go to the router 5. Enable config T, interface G0/0/0. IP address I'm going to give it here 10.10.15.5, 255.255.255.0, no shut. And here also I'm going to give it in the RIP. Okay, so or let me create a loopback as well. Interface loopback 0. Okay, loopback 0, I'm giving it IP address as 5.5.5.5, and the subnet mask I'm putting it 255.255.2555, and then let me configure the RIP. Config T, router RIP version 2, and then let me advertise the two networks, one the loopback and another the physical interface. So 10.10.15.0, 25, no, not 255, not required in the RIP. So that is okay. Another is 5.5. That is the loopback interface, right? Dot 0. And then I will use the command no auto summary. So this is also very important to give the no auto summary, otherwise it creates problems sometimes. Okay. So now here we have configured RIP. this side we have configured the OSPF. This is area 51, this is area 0, and this is OSPF area 1. So now all the configuration is done, and still if you want to check the database, let's check till now what we have received. Show IP OSPF database. That's quite interesting, right? So from this one, the first thing is the router ID. We have also discussed the how the router ID is being selected. That is normally the highest IP address. If you don't have any the, if it is there's three ways, right? The first thing is the router ID manually we configured. The second thing is that if you are having the loopback IP address, then it takes the highest loopback IP address as a router ID. And if there is no loopback IP address configured, then it goes to check the physical IP address, and whatever will be the highest physical IP address on the router, that will be taken as the router ID. So that's okay. And now if we go further down a bit, then we observe that why my pen, oh, it's opposite. Sometimes we hold the pen on the opposite side and we check, oh, why I'm not able to write. So that's what happened with me, not a problem. So 10.10.23.2, perfect. So this is from the area 0. We are checking on the router 2 right now, this router, right? So here we are getting the area 0, and the type LSA, if you talk about that, we are here the LSA 1, type 1 LSA, right? Type 1 LSA. This is net link state. So that is directly, right? Net link state we are getting, or network summary LSA we can say. So this is summary LSA type 2. This is for the area 0, right? So, and now we are having the area 1 here information, because this is an area 1. So that is the type 1 LSA for the area 1, and this is for the netlink states. Perfect. So for everything, this first thing is that our internal, so link ID area 0, area 0. The same thing is for this area 1, because there are two sides connected. This side is area 1 and this side, another side is area 0. So link ID, there's router link states and the net link states. And another thing is type 2 LSA, which is giving information towards the one area to another area. So right now we have configured the RIP on this interfaces, but still we don't see any of the type 4 or type 5 LSA, right? Correct. Why we do not see it? Why we do not see it? Because till now we have not redistributed RIP on the OSPF. So this is also an lab for us, that how to redistribute RIP on the OSPF. So let me check show IP OSP, so IP protocols first. Let me check it here. So this is an, what is it, is this one, automatic network summarization is not in effect. Maximum path 4, that is okay. Passive interfaces we don't have any. Distant default is 120, that is a default AD value for the router. That's perfect. OSPF and not a problem. Let me check the show IP OSPF interfaces. Okay. So now if we check the interface and we have a look that this is designated route, right, is this interface. That's also okay. Let me check the show IP OSPF database. So this is OSPF router ID. Process ID is this one. Link state area 1. If I check it here, does it show somewhere that this is an ABR, or it does not show? Or from the summary link states we can check, but I want to check that whether it is somewhere written as it is ABR or not. I just want to see show IP interfaces. If it shows us, I think I'm not sure about that one, that it is an ABR or not. Area border router backup is okay. Adjacent designated. Okay, let me check show IP OSPF neighbor. Then also it does not show us that ABR. So you can just have a look on this we can say the database, and if you see the two areas connected here, then you can know that this is an ABR, show IP OSPF database, right? So if you see this summary LSA, then you can easily come to know that this is an ABR, or you might be also seeing the multiple areas table here, right? Area 0 or area 1, or if it might be connected from some more areas, so you may see some more tables as well below that one, correct? So the most important part that right now we are not seeing any of the type 4 and type 5 LSA. So let me just redistribute it here on the router 1, because that is the router which is connected from the RIP protocol. Okay. So let's go to the router OSPF 1. Oh, config router OSPF 1. Perfect. And just simply give the command redistribute RIP. This is the command to, you see that how simple it is, and but actually what important job is it doing? It is just giving all the information of the RIP to the OSPF, but just one single line command. I put it enter here, and it's showing that only classful networks will be redistributed, because RIP is a classful protocol, right? It's not a classless, so that's why it is giving it this information. Anyways, the most important part is that now we have redistributed, and this router 1 has become an ASBR, correct? So now let me check the database now. So now we are having the different type of the LSAs. Now let's have a look on these. So these are the area 0. I'm again on the area 2, router 2 right now, right? That is just very important. So that's why I just excited to show you again and again. So this is an area 0. That is the previous also it was visible, and now we are seeing the same thing here. There's a no excitement to show it here. And the most important thing is our type 5 external LSA. Now you see, now the external LSA is being propagated from here. If you see on the router 1 also, you will see the type 5 external LSA, right? Here we are not seeing that type 4 LSA, right? It should show. I think why it is not showing, or we have taken it early a bit. Type 4 summary ASBR link states. Yes, this is the our type 5 LSA. Sorry, type 4. Whenever we are seeing the summary ASB link states, that is our actually type 4, right? And whenever we are having that external LSA, where is gone now our external LSA? Or it has gone somewhere. Summary ASB area 0. Why we don't see our external LSA? It has gone somewhere. It should be coming, right? Let me check it here first. Do show IP OSPF database. Here also it is not available. Oh, it's exciting. It was showing it earlier, but now it is, let me delete it. It is quite annoying. Enable show IP OSPF database. Here also we are having the summary LSA, not the external LSA. Why it is not showing the external LSA? We have redistributed correctly, right? Okay, let me check the. I think we have redistributed that 5.5.0 right here, because that is our interface loopback 0. I think let me check it here, because that is because redistribution creates a type 4 LSA whenever we are giving some external prefix over there. then only it gives the external LSA. But earlier it was showing, but I don't know why it is not showing right now. So show IP OSPF. No, show IP route. So we are having 5.5.0 is directly connected here. Let me check it here. Show IP route. Are we getting the 5.5. No, we are not getting the 5.5.5. Why are not getting? Let me check it here. Do show IP route. This is here. Subnetted 5. Okay. Sorry. Why it is not showing? Because I have given one command wrong here. Because if you check the show IP interface brief, then I have given it on the subnet dot 255.255.255. You see that subnet is /32, and while I have advertised it, that I have put it on the .0, I think, right? So let me check that one. Config t router rip version 2. Yeah, I have already given, and then I have to give actually that net, because if you go up here, I have given it 5.5.5.0, right? I should give it 5.5.5.5 because I have given that subnet /32. If I gave it /24, then 5.5.5.0 will be working, but I have given it /32. I have to give it like this one, network 5.5.5.5. Now it will generate the external LSA. Let's check it. Show IP route /32 is now here. Let me check it here. Show IP route. Oh, it's still not here. Then if it is not here, then it will not show that external LSA. Once again, show IP OSPF database. Right? We don't see it here again. So not to worry. Whenever we are having that external LSA, then it is propagating to our network, and we see it as a external LSA, type 5 LSA. And right now, because we have just redistributed it, so it is just showing as the summary ASB link state. So I think I have to give more time, and just don't want to give it more time on the troubleshooting. Otherwise, it will stretch my video. Let me just have a look on I think Google. It will show you clearly that how that external LSA shows you, right? Where is our browser? I think anyways, you can, I think you have just understand enough. I don't want to stretch this video too much because it's already quite long, right? So that was just for the external LSA and different areas. And this is lab is very important. I just specifically ask you guys to set up this type of lab configuration and just check, are you able to ping from here or not? You can just try to ping it here from here, right? Ping 5.5.5.5. Are you able to ping it or not? So obviously we are not getting the route, so we will not able to ping it, right? Because 5.5 is, I don't know why it is blocked here. I have redistributed correctly or not. Router OSPF, it is submitted. Gateway of last resort is set. And that's what I was saying just right. I have in the between, I have discussed you OIA. So the routes you see like this one, O, and that is the inter area routes. So let me check it here. I think I'm having some issue. Router OSPF 1 redistribute rip subnets. Yeah, I think I was missing this command. Show IP OSPF database. Yes, now we see that type 5 as external link states. You see, guys, so that's how it is. And now we will be able to ping that one from here. No, still not. It should now. Oh my god. It is still not pinging. Why? Oh, it's really disgusting. Enable show IP route. We're not getting the route for the 5.5.5. And here also we are not getting 5.5.5. External we are getting about that OE2 routes for 10.10.15.0. Have I not given it in the RIP? I have given it, right? Config T router RIP network 5.5.5.5 exit show IP OSPF, sorry, show IP route. It is directly connected, that is okay. It is received here or not. You guys see that that's how the troubleshooting is being done in the real environment. We just keep on checking the routes that how are they being received. So it is being received via RIP here 5.5.32, but I don't understand why it is not being sent to the router 2, because I have redistributed it. So it should typically show it here. OE2 5.5. Now it is being received here on the router 2, on the router 2, on the router 3, show IP route. Are we having some connectivity issue? Okay. I think we see it on the router 3. We are having some issue, right? It is okay till now. On the router 2, we are receiving that OE2, OIA we are receiving, but we are not receiving on the router 3. I think I have not configured the that OSPF clearly. Show IP OSPF neighbor. So 23 and 34 are neighbor. 23 and 34 are neighbor. They are quite okay. And they are, I think I missed that some of the thing, right? I did some mistake while the configuration. Is that creating some problem? Show IP OSPF interface. So this interface line protocol is up. This is also up. It just sent backup designated routers. Why it is not showing it here? Show, because it is forming the neighborship, then it should share the routes, right? Show IP OSPF neighbor. It is having the neighborship to 34. Oh, okay. It is having with 34. Ha 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 ha. Why it is having the neighbor ID as 34? It should be having this 23, right? Router OSPF 1 config T router OSPF 1 area, not area. I have to give the command as network, right? Network. Which network I should, or in fact I can directly enable it on that interface. I think that will be better idea. Interface Z 0/0/1. Okay, and just to give the command as IP OSPF 1 and area 0 on this interface. This is Z 0/0/1. I think this should work good. Now it should sort out our problems. Let me check the routes now. Still not showing. Let me check. I think neighborship should come up first. Show IP OSPF neighbor. Yes, still showing with the 34.3. 34, it should be with the 23.3, right? not with the 30. Okay, that's okay, because that is an we should say the router ID. So that is okay. In fact, it is forming neighborship, so that's not a problem. But still, why it is not transferring the roots? That's a little annoying. It is okay till here, but not sending it here. Show IP route. It is not transferring. So I think I have given some IP address wrong. So IP interface brief. The IP addresses are on this router, that router 3, 23.3, that is okay, and that is 10 dot. Am I miss? Oh, this is okay. The IP addresses are okay on this. And let me check the IP address here. Show IP interface brief. Here I am having the 12.2 and 23.2. That's also okay. Are they not in the same area? Or let me clear IP OSPF process. That may help. Yes. And here also, let me clear it. Yes. So it should set up something. Yes, now that was the problem. I think I changed the area, and that was just neat. I think now I will be able to ping from here. Oh, still not? No, not now. Not now. It should be pinging, and no. Let me clear IP OSPF process here. Yes. I think what happened that after the clearing the OSPF process, it just selected the another router ID, and that created the problem. Right? Once we clear the OSPF process, it just selects the new router ID, and when it takes the new router ID, then the whatever the neighborship it was formed earlier, it stops sharing, or in fact that does not share the routes clearly. So I think now I should be able to receive routes. Show IP route. It's still not. Why not now? Or let me clear it here as well. I think it's what. Oh. Let's wait it for some time. Show IP OSPF. Show IP protocols. That's okay. And here the router ID is mentioned, or it's not. This is the router ID 10.10.34.4, right? So let me check the neighborship here. Show IP OSPF neighbor. This is 10.10.34.3. That is okay. And let me check it here now. Still the same. I think there was some command to stop it. grg. There's something. It takes time whenever we do something wrong. It just goes for the domain server lookup. Now it's okay. And show IP protocols, that is 10.10.34.3. That is okay. Show IP OSPF neighbor. So it is one neighborship is with 34.4 and that is 34.3. I think that's okay. Let me clear IP, or we are having the area correct. Area 51, 34 is on the area 51, and that is also on the area 51, right? Then why it is not sharing the routes? Still not. Let me clear it, this one once again. I think this is, here we are receiving 5.5.5, that is okay. Here I think I should clear IP OSPF. Actually, I just did some mistake on the starting. I configured the wrong area as an area 1, and that just created all these problems, and now still we are struggling. So you see that how one small problem creates too much trouble for us, right? So we should be very careful while doing the things. Otherwise, you just keep on troubleshooting always, and you do not get the actual cause that what actually it is. Yes, finally we get it here at the router 4. Now we are having that 5.5.5. Now we will be able to ping 5.5.5. Oh no, 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 we cannot. Why we cannot? Anyone have a guess that why we cannot? We are still receiving the routes, but still we cannot. You know, guys? Because right now we have redistributed, we are having the routes from RIP to OSPF, but we don't have any information from the OSPF to RIP. If you see the routes here, then you don't have any information about this network, right? So what we have to do, show IP OSPF, no, show IP routes. If you see it here, you don't have any information about this network 10.10.34.0, right? So for this purpose, what you have to do, you can do two things. That is, just you can redistribute OSPF once again at here, or you can give the default route to it. So I'm just going to do the reverse thing at here. Enable router RIP. Okay, config T router RIP. Oh, whenever you are stuck, you always do the wrong things, and you are going to do the reverse, redistribute OSPF. Okay, we have to redistribute OSPF 1. Perfect. So now whatever we did, whatever the routes were coming from RIP to OSPF, it is going, and whatever the routes from OSPF to RIP, now they are redistributed. Now we will see the all the information from the OSPF as well. So show IP route. Still we did not receive it here. Why it is happening like that? Do show IP route. OIA, that's okay. It should be received it here, right? Show IP. No. Okay, but let me try to ping it here. Still we cannot. Now why? What's problem now? Let me give the default route here. Okay, so that this is reachable it here, means that this router knows the route about this one, but this router 5.5 doesn't know about this information, right? So what can we do? We can configure the default route on the towards the router 1. So let me get it here. Or we can do the default route, or we can do the static route. So let me use the default route as of now. Config T IP route 0.0.0.0, again 0.0.0.0. This is the way to give the default route, and that should be forwarded to the 10.10.10.15.1. So this is a way to give the default route. So now if you check the IP route table, you will see the one default route, and that has been statically created. So now whatever the information we have to send, we will send it to this router, and this router is having all the information about this route, right? So now it should be working fine. Yes, now it is working very fine. So that's how we are having the networking. You see that how difficult it is. I just want to give you one demo that how complicated the things they are actually, and how you take it. So if you do not do the labs, if you do not stuck in the real environment, you're not going to be perfect. So it is very much recommended to do labs by yourself. Think the scenarios, what can be the actual scenarios, real scenarios, and just configure it here in the packet tracer. And then obviously I'm sure that you will be stuck somewhere. If you're stuck somewhere, you have any doubts, please reach out to me. I will be helping you out. Okay. So there's two ways to reach me here. You can directly ping me, right? How you can reach me? You can, first thing is you can join me on the live session on the Saturday. Okay. If you are watching it quite late, you might not be available. I might not be available in the live session. Then you can write in the comment section, right? The YouTube. I will get back to you and sort out your issues. Another ways, you can follow me on the Instagram or the Facebook, anywhere, right? Instagram or Facebook, anywhere. And my Instagram ID is Sir Anush Shukla. Okay. So if you search with this name, you will get it. Anush Shukla. I think, let me write it in the full form. SIRANUJSHUKLA. And I'm teaching you all those things, whatever the important from the interview point of views, not just for the certification. Obviously this helps in their certification, but these are the things what you feel really on the real environment, or they are asked by the interviewers too much. So it's okay for the day. Let's meet on the next session. So that's it for the OSPF. I will stop OSPF because we have taken, I think, 4 or 5 sessions around OSPF, and you might be bored of this OSPF. So just for the change of flavor, I will try to start the DHCP in the next session. DHCP stands for the Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, right? So you might have been seeing that we are having that DHCP automatic IP assigned on your computer. So we'll just have a look how that DHCP assigns the IP address automatically to your computer, right? So, okay, if feel any doubts, you have these many ways to reach me out. And thank you so much. See you on the next video. Bye bye.